Welcome to Questions in Actor, Laurent Pitre. I'm your host. As you know, Laurent Pitre. We've been doing this over and over. I mean, why do I have to repeat myself? But I do because I have to. And welcome to this podcast, this weird thing that I'm doing. I have an amazing guest today. A wonderful, mysterious, fantastic, mesmerizing. Who are you again?
Yeah, I'm Aleah.
Hello, Aleah.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Welcome. So we actually don't know each other all that well, so I'm so glad to have you on the podcast. So tell us a little bit about who you are, because I think you presented yourself to me once as a filmmaker, but tell me like a little bit more, like like when someone asks you, who are you, first off, like what do you say usually? And also, what do you wish you would say to that question?
I feel like I don't want to get into the psychology, but I feel like I tend to sell myself a bit short, so I'll try to not do that.
Let's do it. Okay.
But yeah, I'm a filmmaker. I have a production company called Aren't We All Productions.
I love that name.
Thank you.
We are all productions. I love the cleverness of it. It's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It has a story, but we'll
get into it. We will get into it later, yes.
But so I've done a few short films, and I also do shoot actor demo reels, and I do script consulting, and I did one music video, produced a music video, and I used to be in the theater scene. I produced a few plays and directed and whatnot. So yeah. But now we're fully in the film, and I'm right now currently working on my first feature film. So I'm early in development. We're on page 6.
Whoa! He's getting there. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, when you get past the outline or the idea or the promise to your friends that you'll one day make a movie, page 6 is a huge achievement. So congratulations. Do not sell yourself short on that. Sell yourself long on that. I was saving that joke the second you said it.
I'm curious. Please stop talking so I can make my joke.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, I'm curious. Before we do a little bit of a time warp and talk about your past, I want to dive deeper into that question, because you sounded like you wanted to respond to it in a different way, right? You were like, psychologically speaking. So tell me, like, deeper than what you do, what do you feel like or wish like you could answer to that question? Who are you?
Existential crisis. Well, I guess it's like, who do I want to be? And it's more than just like a filmmaker. It's more than that. I think most artists agree with that. It's like, I feel less like a filmmaker and more like a storyteller in general, and somebody who wants to make an impact through my work. You know, that's the way that I want to reach people, is through my work. Like, to me, it's a vocation. So it runs very deep for me. There's no other thing in this world that I wouldn't say could be doing, but like it's deeper than that. It's like, not in terms of not having other skills, but just on an emotional and like spiritual level. Like, this is what I need to be doing. Like, there's no other, this is the life this is what I need to be doing. So
I love that.
So yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So now let's hop into that time machine. Let's go back to where it all began. Where were you born? Where were you raised? What were those early influences that brought you to this vocation that you speak of?
Yeah, I'm from Montreal and born and raised. I used to write stories as a kid. I was just thinking about this earlier, because I was listening to your podcast and listening to other people's stories. And I used to write stories as a kid, and it was in high school that when I thought I wanted to be a lawyer and go to McGill.
Nice. Classic.
that I I was making all these videos. Like, it was that era where instead of having to do like presentations in front of the class, we were able to do videos instead.
Oh, nice.
That was starting to be a thing, so I would kind of script them out and edit them and do very creative things with my like présentation orale, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Oral presentation for all our Anglophones that had no idea what you just said.
But yeah,
for exactly. International audience. Présentation orale.
Sorry, the Bill 101 kid just came out.
Yeah, you're like, Le Français!
But yeah, so that created a passion for me, and I was like, oh, cool. I put the storytelling with the like kind of film video making, and it became like, oh yeah, I really want to be a filmmaker specifically. Whoa. And originally I wanted to be a TV show runner.
Oh, nice.
But in the last like decade, I fell in love with film, and I really want to make films more so than TV. There's a TV show I'd like to make, which is called Aren't We All, which is why my production company is called Aren't We All. Nice. But we'll do that one day.
So cool. So that's like kind of like you're talking almost as like the initial flames of that spark. But could you take us all the way back to maybe those initial sparks of like wanting to be a storyteller or filmmaker? Was it like some kind of memories in your childhood of seeing movies or television? Like, when did it start to feel like, oh, mama, papa, I want to become like filmmaker or something like that? Like, when did that happen for you?
Yeah, when I had to come out as an artist.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
I'm not going to be a scientist. My
or
scientist
a lawyer.
parents. Yeah. So I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind is being on a plane. The first time I was on a plane, I was 6 years old, and I was listening. I don't know if I'll admit what I was listening to, but I was listening to music that was popular at the time. And
nice. Hannah Montana or something like that.
Oh, love Hannah Montana, but no.
Hannah Montana is great.
I rewatched it last year. Anyways, it's fun. That's another topic. But yeah, okay. I was listening to music, and it's really through music that I started to imagine different stories, like fantasy stories where I had superpowers and whatnot.
I love it. Me too. This is great.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I think you're just talking about something similar in your last episode that you released, and I was like, cool. Oh my gosh, I completely relate to that. Where it's just like, I think it's like wanting to feel special or something, or whatnot, and I don't know. It's just that creativity of being that is just completely, that knows no bounds when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely stems from that. I remember that, and then when I was 11, I read Harry Potter, so that changed my life. I mean, you know, for a good chunk of my life, like that really, really influenced me a lot. So Harry Potter, and then eventually like Lord of the Rings, which is more my thing now, but Harry Potter was a huge thing at 11 when I read it. I was like, oh my God. And then I created my fan fiction.
Oh, yes. Okay. No way. At 11, it started. The fan fiction began. Yes.
And okay, fan fiction is often synonymous with something like a bit, you know, mature subject matters.
Okay,
sometimes,
yes, right.
But no, it was very wholesome.
It can get spicy. Yeah, well, I mean, you're 11. I mean, hopefully
it was very wholesome. It was very
Nice.
wholesome. It was more just that I loved that universe that was created.
And
just getting lost in it felt amazing, and it felt like, you know, you'll always find a home at Hogwarts. That's how it felt, I'm sure, for so many people, right? So
yes, using
that world as a backdrop for kind of my own stories was a pivotal point for me, and then I do reference it in my first short film.
Yes, in plain sight. Yes, yeah, it's in plain sight. Those references were pretty clear early on. We're like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's like kind of like Hogwarts. Okay, oh no, yeah, it's really heavily influenced. So cool. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, I definitely, it's funny that Harry Potter had such an impact on you. It definitely had an impact on me. When I was younger, my mom, one of the things that she would do that meant the most to me and my sister growing up was she would read us the Harry Potter novels.
So cute.
And at night, and she would become each character. She would do like a Scottish accent for Hagrid. Dobby had like this cute squeaky voice, and she read all the books as they were coming out too. And so like by the last book, I think I was like maybe like 15, 16, asking my mom to like read us bedtime stories, but she was dedicated. So in a sense, like I totally understand that Harry Potter and those books can have such a powerful impact on people who then, like you said, feel called to tell stories. So you started writing fan fiction. You started considering these movies happening in your head to music. I love that. Tell me, at what point did you come out of the creative closet to tell your parents and make this start to happen, like truthfully, other than in your oral presentations and movies like that? Like what were like the first professional quote unquote steps that you started taking towards that vocation?
Yeah, well, I remember it was in ninth grade. In ninth grade, we had to do like a 1-day internship, and that's when I wanted to be a lawyer. And I was like,
Oh,
I arguing with. I think I like the critical aspect of what I thought it was, and I thought it was just debating and arguing, but that's very much not the case. But there was like a intellectually stimulating aspect to it that I thought was interesting, at least from TV. But I did a 1-day internship where I was talking to a lawyer, and he showed me this contract, and I was reading it, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to, there's no way I'm doing that. And I can't even remember the transition, but it was just like, I'm going to be a screenwriter. Literally, I don't remember exactly what happened, but then I started to prep for going to CEGEP. So I went into communications in CEGEP, and that's when I first studied film and everything.
Right. Again, for our Americans or international audiences, CEGEP is like a kind of pre-university. It's like prepares you for college, basically, or it can be some people's college experience. Absolutely. Okay, so you went into communications. Which is I love when people do communications, because it's like they're trying to find something that they actually want to do, which is really cool. But some people thrive in it. Maybe, I don't know. But so cool. So tell me what you learned from that communications degree, and how did that point you towards storytelling in the end?
Yeah, well, the communications degree, I mean, I was interested in the classes. Like it's basically an interdisciplinary program,
Oh, nice.
And so basically you could take screenwriting, you take film production, you could take take painting and drawing, which I like. Please spare me. I've drawn in the past, but I don't have the patience that these people have. I don't have that kind of patience, so it doesn't really interest me. But so I did all the film production classes, screenwriting. There were theater classes. And then art, we had to do art history and things like that.
Yep.
And I think the thing I learned, I learned a lot, obviously, from having to be in front of the class and be critiqued. That was terrifying. Like, we were crying and trying not to puke. That was very formative. I'm very grateful for that time. But it really pushed me to be better. But honestly, it was more the people that I was around. I really loved my time in CEGEP, honestly, way more than university. And I was around all these artists and all these like really fun, different people that I never had necessarily access to. Like, I went to Vanier, which was not at all. I'm from the West Island, so like it's not at all where any of the people from high school went. So I met all new people.
Cool.
And it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And these people that I was around, they were so fun, they were so funny, so creative, like, and that's what I ended up, that's kind of at least the spark at the time that inspired me to create that concept for that TV show, Aren't We All? And that's what I wrote, the pilot. It would be very different now, but because it has been 10 years. But I did write the pilot at the time when I was like 18, 19. to present as my final project. And
Oh,
it was all
nice.
about these different creative people, very different kinds of people who, with different, backgrounds and whatnot, who find a similar connection through human experiences and also through art. And
Cool.
yeah, I also love like art education and art history. So I'm very pro like education in the arts. Not that you have to have it to have a career in it, but I just love learning about art history and everything. There's
Yeah.
just so much fascinating stuff to learn. So
Mm.
so it's like a celebration of the arts as well. So and
Mm.
one day I'll circle back to that show concept, but yeah,
Cool.
that was a big thing for me.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, so tell me about that. So it sounds like almost like aren't we all? I mean, I know nothing about it because you haven't been necessarily you haven't given me the pitch yet, but it sounds like it's almost like Friends, like the type of show, like a group of friends together, united through art in this really special way. Would you like to dive into it and let me know a little more about it? Because I'm curious. Like, tell me like about it.
Sure, a bit. Yeah, I mean, again, like it's been a long time, and I'm constantly rethinking it. But
Of course.
the original concept was kind of, if you've seen Victorious, the TV show Victorious from
Oh.
Nickelodeon, it's like
Oh.
these art. They go to a performance arts school, and like combining that
Oh.
with the TV show Community, which is
Oh,
very meta,
nice. Yeah.
very interesting. You have these out of the box episodes where they're suddenly like in a Dungeons and Dragons game, or they're suddenly
Oh,
all like
nice.
3D animated, like
Oh,
these
nice.
fascinating different characters. And yeah, I really wanted to dive into like this meta aspect and also subvert certain
Mm.
expectations, because the I know none of this is a pitch, but it's the
No, no, no.
concept. I can't
No, I
really like
appreciate
tell
it.
you
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah. I mean,
specific
I'm not like,
story,
yeah, yeah. I don't want
because
them
there
to
isn't one.
take this from the podcast. Exactly.
Oh
Easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, it comes from a passion for young adults a bit different these days, but
Mm-hmm.
young adults and media, I find, is can be very two-dimensional, and I really
Mm.
wanted to create something three-dimensional that showed people like subverting stereotypes.
Cool.
And especially, that those American influenced TV shows where it's just like
Mm-hmm.
the popular girl, the nerd, this and that, like you
Right.
see in The Breakfast Club. And but at the same time, in The Breakfast Club, all those people, the point is that all those different people end up connecting,
Yeah.
over kind of similar, struggles with school or family or whatnot. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the core of it. Trying to create something a little more deep that maybe was talking about mental health or identity and different things, religion, this
Mm.
so many different things, but it's still like a dramedy, still a comedy. So keeping it lighthearted, but yeah, I mean, obviously this is like so many things to pack into one thing, but it stems from my interest in kind of young adult media as a whole, and how very
Mm.
few things, it's a bit better now, but very few things were impressing me, and very few things I related to.
Mm. Super cool. Love that. That really helps us like understand you a little bit better too, like of like how you felt. You found your community and you almost wanted to put it out there in the world, and you still
Yeah.
do want to put out an image of what that could be, so that also like people as they're trying to find their vocations like go, oh, maybe that's me, maybe that's like something that's possible. Oh, it's even possible to have friends that are so totally different or in a different art form or a different walk of life. And I think that art does that in an incredible way, in television like you said, but also it sounds like film, specifically became somewhat of a more specified focus over time. So tell me what happened once you graduated CJEP and where you kind of navigated your journey at that point.
Yeah, so yeah, it's true. I actually had applied to creative writing at Concordia
Okay.
University, and my prof, one of them was like, you should go into communications, like you're a filmmaker, you should do film or film production or whatever. But I was stubborn. I was like,
Oh.
I'm a writer, I don't want to do that. I just want to write. So I applied to, and I was gonna double major or whatever because I was 19 and insane.
Yeah, you're like, I can do that. I can do that. I have
like,
80 hours a week. I could do things. Yeah.
So I was like, pack those credits on. But so I had applied to creative writing and to the liberal arts program. Liberal arts being where you study literature, theology, philosophy, just also on art history.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm going to do both those programs.
My God.
But then I got my first heartbreak where I didn't get into creative writing.
Oh, no.
Oopsie. I remember crying about it in my bed. And I'm like, it's so funny. But, you know, it's like rejection is redirection, right? So I ended up in liberal arts just doing that as my major. Mm-hmm. It doesn't end there because I did switch programs, but I did that for 2 years. And there was I fell in love with art history because we had this art history class, and we were reading like the Odyssey and Jane Austen and all these Aristotle, all these fascinating things that for me, it was the point of that program was about, you know, it's one thing to know how to write, but it's another thing to have something to write about. So for me, that was like fodder for, you know, inspiration and everything, which can also come from just lived experiences as well. But that is my, you know, where my inspiration stems from, is like the classics and whatnot. I'm half Greek, so, you know, even though I'm not that connected to my culture, I do connect to my boy, my ancestor Aristotle.
Yeah, that guy chilling on the hill, going like, oh, you know what's a good idea? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
democracy.
Gotta respect.
Yeah, those
my
guys.
Ancestors. So yeah, I studied that, and then there was the most important thing is that I was in the liberal arts theater society. We had a theater club.
Oh, cool.
And that's when I auditioned for my dream role.
Oh.
I suggested that we do Antigone, the classical Greek play. And they chose it, and I auditioned, and in the end I ended up getting the role as Antigone, and that made me just fully fall in love with acting and storytelling in a whole new way. And then we did a second play, and then I ended up switching to I have ADHD, so it was very hard for me to, even though I did very well, it was very hard for me to write those 12-page research papers, and read a gajillion books a week.
My God,
you know, it was very difficult for me. So I ended up switching to acting for theater at Concordia.
Oh, cool.
And that's actually what my degree is in.
No way. Wow, good job. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow.
But like 5 years at Concordia, but we did get there through the pandemic and everything. But so I switched to theater, and from there my goal wasn't actually to, even though I was acting and do love aspects of it, it wasn't really to be an actor. It was because I was just fascinated with the concept of acting, and I knew that being a better actor would mean I'd be a better writer and a better director. And for me, it's a tool in my toolkit. And I've also while I was in university, I was studying at Toronto Film School online for a time, and I did screenwriting. So I also had that. That was like, I would do that in the summers, and then.
Oh, wow.
So we all know I burned out, but just to say.
Yeah. This is a warning. If you are one like Aleah,
don't do that.
Don't just take your summers off, or you don't need to take it that fast. Like, you got time. Yeah. Wow.
Crazy. I was like, I want to be in film school. I need to be in it right now. So I was doing it at the same time, and I learned a lot from that.
Must have, yeah.
So, but it was all tools from my toolbox.
I love it.
So that I could be a filmmaker, fully fledged, you know, and I understand actors because I'm an actor. An actor. I do understand them and know and feel like I really do know how to communicate with them when I'm directing. And that I nothing can replace that. Like, to me, that's it's what I wanted. And it helps as a writer too. So
wow.
So yeah, that's what happened after CJEP.
Wow. Okay, cool. That's really cool. So that gave me like the overview of your college career in that sense. So I'm curious then, like at what point did this film in plain sight emerge? Was that part of Concordia or your communications degree?
So that was my other attempt. I tried to do a master's. I tried to do a master's degree.
What? Because
I was like,
where? How?
It was online. It was online
at the same time. Oh my god!
No. Like after I graduated, I was like I'm a bit impulsive. My parents were on vacation. They came back. I was like, so I'm doing a master's degree. And they were like,
no. Wow.
Okay. I only ended up doing one semester in the end because this is like right after the 5 years of Concordia, like, CJEP, Concordia, everything, like film school at the same time. Like, so I burnt out. So I did one semester.
You're like, what would be good for my burnout? More school.
Yes, exactly. But what I did learn, it was at Falmouth University. It was on an online program from England. Just happens to be from there.
Cool.
It's such an amazing program, amazing profs. Like, I really, really love the program, I gotta say.
Nice.
I couldn't do more school right now, but that's when I wrote the script. I had to write a short film.
Nice.
And so that's when I didn't know what to write. So I wrote about not knowing what to write.
Wow. Yeah. You really put your mind on the paper there. That's so cool. Okay.
So it was all about, I didn't know what to write, and all I cared about still, not to this day, but at that point, was my Harry Potter fan fiction. I don't know why.
Harry Potter fan fiction, yeah.
I don't know why. I'm still at like 24. I was like, but my Harry Potter fan fiction. There's just something about it that obviously only I will ever understand. It was about these characters that I created more than like Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay, so let me write about that. So I created this kind of meta thing where in my film, I play myself, and there's who I kind of described as my writing agent is talking to me and reprimanding me for why I can't write. But, if you really think about it, she's actually like the inner critic. She's really me. She's a part of me. And she's like my inner critic being like, why do you only care about your Harry Potter fan fiction? And the whole thing is about, well, it's because it's my childhood and it ties into my childhood imagination, and being an adult is hard. And I've been through so many difficult things, as does everyone. But as a very, as an artist, and I'm sure you understand, like, tend to be highly sensitive people, and it can really get in the way of certain creative, projects and whatnot, to get in the way of the creative process in general. And so that whole script was about reconnecting with my childhood imagination, and the way to do that was to face those difficult things that were kind of standing in the way, like a wall between myself and that, like, I don't know, fuel from my childhood, the creative fuel from my childhood. So, and making that film did not cure me. It helped, but it's still very hard. Writing is very hard. I find it very painful, very sensitive, and anyways, I can keep going on a tangent right now, but that's where I wrote the script.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, I think you speak to like the healing power that art can have, especially writing from a personal place. And then also the act of even putting that movie on its feet, sharing it with people, putting yourself as the actress in it. I think a lot of people go to the films or to movies or to the performing arts to feel catharsis, but there's a special degree of catharsis that must have happened for you by doing that whole process. Not only being the lead of your movie, but from what I understand, writing, directing, and producing it, and to a scale that honestly, I was like, I thought this was like, again, like a master's thesis or like a professional production, because the caliber of, the cinematography, the shots, the like costumes, you bring us between a fantasy Harry Potter world and a kind of surreal reality too, in different spaces. So and with like the full production value of a good short film. So tell me, like, maybe you feel like it didn't cure you, but what do you feel like it brought you that even today you're really happy that you have this now part of your toolbox?
Well, firstly, thank you for saying that. It means a lot. And because again, I sell myself short, so I
yes,
it helps
I will
to
sell
hear
you.
those things.
I will sell you long,
and I will do the same for you when I can.
Yes, good.
The first thing that's coming to my mind right now is when we wrapped the last shot, and the cinematographer looked at me, and he was like, "You just made a movie." And I was like, you know, it was a dream come true. Like, you know, it's a short film, but even seeing the poster for the first time, which I made, but even making the poster, like, I was like, this is really awesome. I made it with the help of one of the people in the crew as well. But it was just the idea that, I've always wanted to make a film, and I just made a film. Like, that's the first thing that's coming to mind. Like, that meant the world to me, and I'm very proud of what I made, and I learned a lot. There was so much that I learned from it that I would do differently now. And just also the experience of it, because I come from theater, and I really don't like how a lot of film sets are run.
Okay.
So I do a lot of like background work sometimes on like big sets, and I have no ego. Like, let's just say it has nothing to do with ego. It's just like being an extra is humbling work, and I'm okay to, I actually had to learn to shut my mouth and be like, yes ma'am, yes sir, and I literally say that. I say yes ma'am, and they're like, because they don't want, you're there to make their life easy. Like, I completely understand, and that's totally fine. And when they respect you, I respect them. That's all good. But there is this very concrete hierarchy, notably on American productions.
Yes.
Because in the Quebec scene, people are actually really nice. I gotta say, the community's tight, and people are really usually very, very nice, and everyone's talking to each other. But on these big productions, the hierarchy is a little dehumanizing at times. And again, Jackie Chan's on the set. Like, please, I am a peasant. I'm not trying to be important. It's just like some basic consideration. And no, he was great. He was super nice.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Great.
Yeah, like he's great.
But like before, there's like 7 assistant directors coming to you and saying, if you look at them in the eyes, you're done. If you...
They literally said, you are not allowed
to look at them in the eyes, not to speak to them. Do not breathe the same air around Jackie. Hold your breath during the whole take. And and I get it to a certain degree. It's to protect whatever vulnerable work they're about to do. But yes, I agree that there's certain kind of standards on sets that we want to, as creators who've been on many sets, want to like sort of uphold. So tell me, like, what are the things that then you brought to your first production or to the future productions that you feel were upholding those values?
Yeah, like coming from theater, of course I have no idea what it's like to make a movie that costs millions of dollars.
Not
Obviously,
yet.
There's not yet. Sell myself long.
Exactly.
I'll write that on my door.
Sell myself long. Yeah, there you go.
You know, obviously it's way more complex, but coming from a theater background, and when I did a directing class in my theater program. And cool. She was telling us, our prof was telling us, the director is not, his job is to direct people, but that doesn't mean that from like a hierarchy standpoint that person is above everyone else. But his job is to delegate and kind of guide people. And everybody, you know, in the theater production is really an ensemble, and coming from doing 12,000 ensemble classes, like, you learn to work together and be, you know, a cog. I don't know, cog in the machine is maybe not the right thing, but like
be the whole machine, be like every person together, is an important piece of it. It's
a symbiotic relationship that you have with the fellow actors, and not just the actors, but the costume designers and the crew and the director and everything, where nobody feels in an ideal theater production, but everybody feels important no matter how big or small your role might be, and everybody we need everybody to make that, ship sail. And so I like to bring that type of energy to my sets, where it's like, I don't care if you're an extra, I don't care if you're shadowing, because I had people come just to shadow, I don't care if you're a PA, whatever, like everybody is valuable and important, and I'm not going to shove the extras in a corner over there and not talk to them.
Yeah,
they actually went to eat first and ate all the cookies, so
that sounds like extras. If you unleash them, though, it will go for those cookies first. Yeah, that's why you do have to give them rules to them extras.
I was like, wait a minute, I should have put them in their corner.
They're like, oh, but, great.
Because all those people, yeah, but all those people are creatives, and they're just there for fun, and like they all have full lives, and But anyways, I'm, all the nice things you said about my film, like none of that. I'm just extremely fortunate that I ended up with the crew that I had. I mean, especially the cinematographer, who he's so humble, but he's amazing. I mean, he's just amazing, and I could not have done it without him. The person who came on for lights, like, I don't do lights. I'm allergic to lights. I don't want to look at them or touch them. Like, he made it look beautiful, and I could really focus on what I needed to focus on. And especially because I was acting in it, and I was in almost every scene. So
you really needed them to take care of the shots or the way they were going to look. Because, you had to step into the protagonist's role. You weren't just like a small part. You were like kind of the central character, for sure.
Yeah, and the art direction as well. Like, she literally made wands from, I said, I need wands. She made wands from scratch. She made cards from scratch. She made newspapers from scratch. That was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I have some of it. I'm looking over there because some of it's on my shelf. She gave me
I love that.
my wand and some of the props. And and I have one of the costumes also, like the cape that I was wearing in the fantasy world, which was also a girl from theater named Arisha who made that from scratch. Like, we went to the store together to buy some fabric, and I gave her this fabric, and she made a cape. I don't know. And made sure everything else looked good and was on set to sew anything that needed to be sewn. And I was like, it had that theater vibe. Even though there were a lot of film people, there were a lot of theater. All of the actors were from theater.
Nice.
So had that background, and I don't know. It's just that ensemble vibe. I don't know how else to put it, but to me, the environment is almost equally or more important than the product. Like, I don't, because if there's no, I told people, it's like, if you're not having fun, like, why are we here?
Yeah.
There's points to be serious, but I'm like, if you're miserable, literally, why are you here?
100%.
Not
it's
as
so
in
true.
Not as in like get out of my face. As in, this is like, please come to me. Like, this is supposed to be a fun experience. So
exactly, it's a good reminder, I think, for artists. At any stage of the career, but I'd say especially, I don't know, I wouldn't even say especially veterans or people who've been in it for a while, even emerging, because I've seen emerging artists too, like, start to complain or be like, oh my gosh, I've been on set for 12 hours and I haven't even said anything yet. But it's like, I get it. It's frustrating, it can be stressful or whatever. But like you said, it's like you're living out your dream. You're living out your vocation. And it's not as sometimes as fancy as you may have thought it would be, but you're doing the thing you love. So just like remind yourself to have fun is a good one. That's a great reminder, even for me, like to remind yourself of any step of the way, whether you're working on a scene, auditioning, or being an extra in a film, or anything along the journey of an actor or an artist or a human being. Like, whatever point you're at, you're living out your dream. And if you're not living out your dream, go ahead and do it, because what are you waiting for? But anyway,
yeah.
So tell me what happened after that first film, In Plain Sight. Like, what were like the next professional steps that you took out into the world, and that led you to then eventually, we can get to that, but like directing a music video with Stasis?
Oh yeah, so the reason I had the script because I was doing that master's degree, and then
Mm-hmm.
somebody that I met through the film community in Toronto, um, who's a great filmmaker, she gave me some advice, um, and she said, you have to make your first short film. Like, I don't care what it is, but you have to make a short film because that's the only
Yep.
way, and it has to get into a festival because that's how you'll get funding. Like,
True.
that is a requirement for most funding, is to have your work be recognized by other people. So I was like, literally, I put this together in like 3 to 4 weeks. That was the
Whoa.
prep before we shot.
In plain sight? For In Plain Sight.
Yeah, for In Plain Sight. The script was written. I rewrote it so that we could actually shoot it. The script was written. Which
wow.
I forgot when I was actually writing it. I was on a plane. I was on a plane to Australia. I was in my extension and I was like,
oh wow. Again on a plane. It's cool that your journey began on a plane and it continues on planes. That's so cool.
The plane. I was like, I got 30 hours. And I was writing it during the trip.
Wow, so cool.
But yeah, so ADHD at its finest. So yeah, then I rewrote it for production. Took out all the Harry Potter references because I originally
it was heavily. Yeah. Copyright would have actually come down on you. JK would have been like,
JK would have.
JK, no movie now. Bye. Yeah.
Okay. But so I just made it like a fantasy realm and really thought about what can I actually film? So changed it accordingly and shortened it, and then put the whole crew together within like a month, less than a month. Damn, and then we were shooting, and that was insane. Like, I'm probably still recovering, and it was 2 years ago. Like, it was a lot because I also edited the movie.
Yep, I saw that.
So I was like
busy.
Oof, it was a lot, but so I wouldn't do all those roles again. That's too much. But all to say, this girl told me to make my first short, so I did so. Did go to a few festivals. I did win an award last year, which was really nice.
Hey, congrats! That's awesome.
Thank you. I got my little trophy that my friend picked up for me because I didn't want to go to the award. I didn't want to go to the award show. So he brought it for me. Love him.
Aww, that's nice.
So yeah, I did that, and what it's like, what happened after In Plain Sight Festival? I started going to Toronto. I went to TIFF.
Oh, nice.
I even went to New York at some point and went to film networking events, and I was like, people in New York are doing things. Yes. People are doing things here. Like that, I'm still, it's on my mind a lot.
Yes.
It's on my mind a lot, but we're here for now. But all to say, how did I get here? I don't know. I don't. You gotta guide me.
The steps afterwards, after In Plain Sight, you already are taking those steps, but like you said, like what follows of production of a film naturally for anybody who hasn't made a film and who hasn't even thought about it is the festival circuit, right?
Yeah.
So you went to the festival circuit, you won a prize, which is great because that, as you said, for any filmmakers who are listening or watching this, it's a huge important step because, more important than, or I don't know, it's equally important as making the thing is making sure that then it has some sort of strategy to get at least some festival kind of circuit going. At least like one award would be helpful, because if you have a film, that's done really, really well, but no festival strategy, and it doesn't get an award, doesn't get into festivals, well, that can really be like kind of a bummer for your artistic career in that sense. I think for your artistic soul, make whatever your soul wants to make, whether it gets into festivals or not. But it is valuable to get those little career recognitions to make sure, like you said, that you can get funding, that you can like be recognized in this industry, be invited into it in that sense, because you do have to make those like initial first steps on your own and like kind of put your money where your mouth is before anyone will believe in you. So it's cool that you did that. So tell me, like, what were those then? after you did the festival circuit, like what were like maybe some lessons you learned about doing that, like the post-production and the festival circuit? What did you learn from that and going to like TIFF in New York?
So I was very naive.
Yes, as most of us are.
I thought I was a god. I was like, I just made the best movie.
You're like, this is going to be the magnum opus of my career.
Well, so I applied to all the wrong things.
Yeah.
And now finally with my second film, it's like a music video / short film, I'm a lot more realistic about it and actually look into the festivals. What have
specifically for that one? Nice.
And also know that my first short, I just made it because that's what I wanted to make, but I do realize that the amount of festivals, they do care about the time slot,
time limit,
and the fact that it's a genre film as well. It's not going to get into most your typical
commercialized
things. So that was very frustrating, but now I'm done with In Plain Sight festivals.
Nice,
it did what it needed to do, and I will be looking into some sort of distribution. I'm trying to decode the mystery of all that. I'll do that soon. And but yeah, and it led me to my brother. So my brother composed the music for my first short.
Yeah.
And he's studying music composition, and he then started to compose his own music. And got it professionally recorded with live like string quartets. I believe that's what it was for Stasis, which is the name of his song, and he asked me to make a film for it.
Cool.
So I listened to it and we discussed it together, but it just, there were visuals that just came to me when listening to the music video, and a story, like pronounced itself. And because the music has such a narrative arc that was intentional from my brother's point of view. And
this is Chase Carreau, if I believe.
Chase.
Right. Shout out Chase.
Shout out Chase. I'm the speaker, I'm his representative, because I keep showing the film and it's just me, because he has a 1-year-old. So he's busy being a dad and doing tons of things,
among other things,
working and everything. But so I made this film with the music first. We already with the music, and I actually like this film more than my first one, which is a good thing. It's a good thing because that means you're improving, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
It means you're improving, and also it's just because it's where I'm at right now. So nice. that led to that, and now I'm starting on kind of festivals for that, and it won an award for best original score.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the congrats for my brother. I mean, it's
that's awesome.
Being able to show him that I created this film to showcase his work, his music. So being able to do that was really amazing and gratifying. But yeah, that's it. And from TIFF, like what I learned from TIFF. I'm not a fan of Toronto.
Not a fan.
No.
Traumatized a bit from that experience?
Many Toronto experiences.
Okay.
It's very different than Montreal. I'm
Montreal
girl. Toronto, TIFF. TIFF is very business. It's very business.
Interesting.
It's not very artsy. Amazing to see the films. So I went to the panels and everything, like had an industry pass, went to the panels. This was 2024. And nice. I mean, I learned a lot, but it also, it just feels like a business. It felt like I was at a business conference, which is like what it's for. It's more for business people and less for the actual artists. So I wouldn't say I was like inspired aside from the films that I got to see, which people would know of, like they came out in the theaters after. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't. I'm probably gonna go.
Yeah.
Next again.
It's good.
But especially now that I have something to pitch, my feature film, and they're having some sort of international market, whatever that means.
Yes, exactly. TIFF is opening its first international market. Yeah, which is you could pitch your films at. So yeah, it's great that you're doing that. You got it. It's tough at first. You're like the business, but it's show business for a reason. So you gotta learn how to love to make a little money off your art, and then serve the industry while also taking care of your soul and making sure you still have those values, like you said, right?
Cool. But I'll just say, just to give some sort of conclusion to what I just word vomited.
That was great.
The number one thing I learned, and not just, the number one thing that I can say is that you have to create your own opportunities, because even in university, I produced, during the pandemic, I made like a King Lear podcast series.
Oh yeah.
Which was part of the liberal, it was part of the Liberal Arts Theater Society.
Wow.
So we were just trying to do something while we were all depressed in our rooms on Zoom. So I did that, and then I produced a play that my classmate wrote the year after, that I really loved, and worked with all these mostly actors who had never acted before from the program, and they were just amazing. Like, that was such a great experience, and that I learned a lot from that, and that's why I was able to produce a film, is because I had the initiative and made those opportunities for myself, and I made, nothing has ever been given to me. Like, I don't know how to say it like that. Not in my life, but in my career is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, but nothing is handed to you. Like, you just gotta make it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. 100%. And I think that's what a lot of filmmakers are 100% doing that, and that's the way to go. That's the way to go. So that's my take. What I would take from all that is just to keep doing our own things, making space for ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Invite yourself to the table, kind of thing, and do your own work and keep your momentum going. That's absolutely true. Well said. So tell me also now, where do you find yourself now as an artist and a filmmaker and a storyteller, like you said? And where, like, what brings you hope? What's like inspiring you right now? And what are you most excited about in the world we live in today? Big question.
What am I excited about? I think what excites me is that, I don't know, that's a good question. And I don't know, it's a good question. I think that, when I go out and I meet, I always say my job is meeting people. Like, I meet hundreds and thousands of people, and so everybody is so passionate about what they do, and they're not really given a voice, and there's such a landmine. I was gonna say a gold mine. Here. A
landmine or a gold mine? Which one you want us to go in? Landmine, okay.
Oops. Sometimes it feels like that, but no. Gold mine here of people.
Yeah.
Who, like fresh blood.
Yes.
For the industry. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like so yeah. I think something's shifting in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like something's shifting, and I feel like Canada is it's gonna have its moment. It's gonna have its moment. There's even I even saw they were starting research on like how to create a Canadian star system, and this and that. Like there's clearly momentum.
Heated rivalry is kind of blowing up. It's a Canadian show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like, oh damn, like playing hockey's kind of cool, and being gay is a really cool thing now. So it's like. And we're like, yeah, we've been doing gay and hockey in Canada for a while. Welcome to the show. I love it. Where you been? Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Yeah, no, seeing, I've been watching it, and my favorite part about it is genuinely that it's Canadian, and that you're like, oh my God, they are mentioning Montreal. Did they film in Montreal? I don't think so,
maybe not.
But anyways, that doesn't matter. It was mostly in Canada anyway. But
yeah.
Montreal is always used as New York or something else, and
true.
Montreal is actually an amazing city. Like it's awesome. There's so much culture. Like, and the Montreal has a culture. Like the whole bilingual international thing. Like it's so interesting and fascinating. And I mean, being a Bill 101 kid, that's what I call myself. That's what I call myself.
Yes.
Like going to French school, but being more of a, like I'm bilingual, but being more of an Anglophone. Like I speak English with my friends and whatnot. Like I'm technically half Quebecois, but not, you know, I'm just a Montrealer. Like I'm more in the kind of American culture and whatnot. So that's such a unique experience. And I think just Montreal there's so much art and culture and music and using Montreal for what it is in a movie, which is what I intend to do, would be amazing. And just the fact that they're mentioning Canadian cities and Canadian culture with hockey, which is a huge thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gives me it actually inspires me. I mean, I think it's awesome. And the show looks, I mean, it's beautifully shot. Like, so I don't know. I think Canada is going to have its moment.
Yeah. I agree. I love that. That's a great answer. Wow. Aleah, this has been an amazing chat. I'm just honored to get to know you better and to like have these to really look at your whole journey and pull from it so many nuggets of wisdom for anybody who's listening or watching. Again, thank you also for listening or watching. Where can our viewers or listeners heart with her fingers? She's doing a heart with her fingers gesture for the listeners who are listening. Where can they follow you? Like, drop your socials. Tell us like where you got your films out or things that you want to plug. Feel free to plug away.
Drop the socials.
Drop the socials.
So I have two. So my at the time of the recording of this, my website has been held hostage. It's not up right now. But but you can follow me. Everything is on Instagram, Aleah P Carreau, or Aren't We All Productions. Might be easier to find. Like the saying, aren't we all? And in the link in my bio are my short films. What's officially released is Stasis, the one that I spoke about being somewhat of a music video short film that my brother composed in plain sight. You can also find it if you really wanted to. And I also just want to say, like, I talked all about my like artist stuff, but I do own a business and I do love, you know, like I own my company, right? So I do script consulting and actor demo reels and things like that. So that is a huge part of what I do as well. So if you need anything, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So if actors are looking in Montreal specifically, I would imagine if they want to get demo reels, they can reach out to you for mostly, that.
Yes, I've made
any script writer anywhere in the world you could collaborate with on script consultations is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's usually on Zoom, and for demos I've shot a few, and all the actors have gotten agents from those demos, which is just amazing because that's the point. So all
right.
So it's really important to get a demo and kind of collaborating with filmmakers in that way to get something out there, put yourself on screen when you haven't had another opportunity is really what's needed.
100%. So cool, Aleah.
Thank you so much. Again, this was awesome.
Thank you. This was awesome.
I want to get to know you. Now I'm going to interview you.
Now that it's over, and I'm going to end. I'm going to do the thing that I do, and well, actually, since you're a filmmaker, I'll do cut and cut. Okay, we'll cut.
Okay.